Hello, welcome back to the Juniper Vale. I am Tapioca Thievery, and I am going to look at the. I'm going to look at the United States for the next 2 weeks, starting February 15th. So the rest of February. Um, Maybe we'll get an idea of what's going to be happening next. Could be probably government, probably political. Um, I all my cards are right side up. I have a feeling I'll read for any reversals in case they come up. So I'm thinking about when I shuffle my cards, I'm not going to pay attention that they're all right side or whatever. I'm just going to shuffle. Um, if something does come up reversal, I'll probably have to do a little bit of a looky uppy. But I'm getting much better with the cards right side up and having things sort of flow very freely. So that's fun. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think of what do I have coming up next. I have a show with Amy Warrior Princess and Jackie B at the end of February. I have a show with Scott on February 20th. I'll put those dates in the description. And in March 10th, I have a show with Judy's Healing Fire. So that'll be fun. I'll let you know if anything else comes up. I do enjoy doing the live shows. Everybody in the community is fantastic. We have good time. So that's fun. Um, I'll probably pop up on Sherry's Slumber Party every once in a while. Not tonight, but yeah, maybe a few more, maybe next week. I'm not sure. Um, Today is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. Right now it is 6:02 p.m. my time, which is Eastern Standard. Um, yeah, so let's look at the United States for the next 2 weeks, starting February 15th, which is tomorrow, which is Sunday. I'm going to do 5 card spread for each week. Well, maybe I'll do a 7 because I'm only doing the 2 weeks. So we'll do 1 card for each day. That sounds like fun. We'll see what happens. If I feel like I need to pull any clarifiers, I will. I don't know if I don't look at it as each card representing the exact day. That's why I cut it up into weeks, but I'll still pull 7 cards for each week. All right, so let's see. What's coming up for the United States for the last 2 weeks of February 2026, starting February 15th, which is tomorrow. Ooh. All right, let's go. We have the Justice card. So this is starting February 15th. The Emperor. I'm very curious what's going to happen this week. The Moon. Ace of Cups. Four Pentacles. Miser. Trying to steal all the money. Or somebody that doesn't want to share. Let's move these down a little bit. Give myself a little bit more space. I don't think I've ever done 7 cards before, so I underestimated how much space I needed. Moon, Ace of Cups, Four of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Three of Cups. Wait, is that one, two? Yeah, okay. So let me put this down for now. So we have one, two, three major arcana. Then we have some minor arcana. We have justice. So hopefully that means we'll be seeing some type of justice related, possibly to the Epstein files, possibly to any Supreme Court rulings. They're still dragging their feet on the tariffs. The emperor is most likely Trump, so he's going to be up to something as per usual. that's not that's not odd. The moon for me, especially when I'm talking politically, means secrets, but it also could be talking about your sort of inner insights as well. There's two mountains, and when it comes to the moon here, I'll keep that in mind. Ace of Cups, we're looking at a beginning. Aces are like ones, so there could be a new opportunity, something new starting up, hopefully not something bad. Hopefully we'll see some focus, some clarity. Cups are a lot about emotions, love, romance. They could also be just about social relationships in general, and also intuition, the unconscious mind. They are water based and they can point to a solution if needed. Four of Pentacles, I like this card. Pentacles, right? We think about money, we think about business. I like the way that it's done here because you can see this person is holding all to the pentacles themselves. They do not want to share. Fours also mean totality, like four elements, four seasons, stability, self discipline, foundation, all work, no play, take slow and steady steps. This person is very miserly. So somebody's holding back on the money. You can see their face. They are not happy with sharing. Two of Swords, right? Swords, I think of double-edged opportunities. Swords can be a lot about difficult situations, stress or problems, spiritual pain rather than physical pain. They're air signs. This person is blindfolded, and these swords are like a scale, right? A lot like the Justice has here. Justice has a scale. We're making a choice, but this person is blinded. They probably have to make some type of choice, but they can't see clearly, or they are going into making a choice blindly, not really thinking thinking it through. Twos are about balance. They are a little bit more stable than the ones, which are aces. We can get an increased chance for desirable outcome or greater obstacles, and we have to be sensitive to others. The Three of Cups, again, cups can be about social relationships. It can be about romance, just people getting along with people in general, and the unconscious mind. The threes are the Trinity. We're talking about communication, expansion, openness, optimism. So with threes, we see the big picture. We have some movement, some action, and some growth. Just be aware not to spread yourself too thin. So here are the threes. We always have the Three of Cups. It's like a celebration. They are toasting to something. They are happy that something is happening. So if I put all these three together, what am I saying? Right? It may not necessarily be like this comes this and then this comes next and then this comes next. It could be a amalgam of it all. I forgot the specific words that the other deck I use has, like a panorama. So let's see. I do like that there's justice being done. We're kind of starting out with the justice. Trump's in the news. Is this justice against or for Trump? I don't know. Are more secrets coming out? Possibly. The moon, I like to look at that and say there's more secrets coming out. I also like to look up the moon a little bit more because I don't want to get tied into just the secrets sometimes, because that's just what jumps out to me when I look at the moon. Let me just make sure I'm not missing something else. It could be. It's also another water sign, and it's attributed to Pisces. So that can be fear, but it could also be reflection, um, deception, but also dreams, right? So there's different possibilities that it could mean. We have the two mountains, and the mountains, they echo each other. So it also implies two responsibilities because of the two mountains. It could be like an imagination getting the best of us, or somebody having their imagination getting the best of them. We can get clarity from the moon's light and understanding. You have to really use your intuition, right? So it kind of makes me curious. The emperor is next to the moon. So the emperor, I think, has all these things going on in his mind, in his imagination that he thinks is happening, but I don't really think they are. I think this shows that he doesn't have clarity of his mind. He could be stuck in dreams. He is probably being told or possibly imagining things are happening. Could just be the emperor not being able to stay awake during the day and always falling asleep. Justice next to the emperor, so I think there is some type of justice coming in, and I think that's against the emperor. I don't think it's for the emperor, but we might have to wait and see, especially if something comes out of the Supreme Court. We have a new beginning when it does come to intuition or social relationships. In a way that kind of makes me feel like, right, the moon is about intuition. So who is getting that new intuition? And what does that have to do with the Four of Pentacles? The Four of Pentacles is somebody who does not want to share. They have their money and they don't want to share. This could be the billionaires. They're being miserly. Are some of them going to have a change of heart? Are they going to be trying to create new relationships with someone that isn't Trump? Possibly. So this could be a lot of stuff that's going on behind the scenes. I'm curious what the justice will show us this week and what that means, because I think that will set the stage for kind of what happens the rest of the week. If it goes against Trump, to me, it says that the billionaires may have to make new relationships with somebody if it goes against Trump. If it goes for Trump, maybe, they're just, again, keeping their money like they usually do. Two of Swords, there is some type of blind decision that needs to be made for a difficult situation. The Four of Pentacles, the miserly billionaires, maybe they have to make a difficult decision. But from this decision looks like celebration, communication within people, happiness. They're toasting. So something, if I read this all together, this says to me that something comes out of the Supreme Court or some other judge. It's the emperor is still losing his mind like usual, but it looks like it's for the emperor, because to me, the billionaires seem happy in the end. So there may be something coming up this week that for regular Americans, the normal people, the 99%, we may not be happy with, because of this celebration card at the end. However, I think that all depends on what comes out here. Who's celebrating? Is it the billionaires? I mean, he looks pretty annoyed, so it could be him, but it could not be him. And then we have the Two of Swords. There's going to be a decision that has to be made when it comes in regards to a difficult situation. And who it benefits depends on the justice. That's how I'm seeing this spread. Do I want to do a clarifying card? Yeah, I'll do a clarifying card just to get an idea of what is holding this week all together. What is the theme? The Eight of Swords. I think the theme of this week is the Eight of Swords, which is being held captive. The Eight of Swords is someone who is in a very bad situation. Usually, innates are like leadership and authority, but this person is all tied up. They're very unhappy. So people feel bound. That doesn't feel good to me. So this week, we may get something that we don't like the sound of, or it may be the emperor and the billionaires that get something they don't like the sound of. So I don't know for sure. I think we're just going to have to see the news this week and see what comes up. I don't want to rule out one or the other because I try to keep my mind open. I don't want to necessarily just think about how it would go well for how I want it to go. I just want to keep an open mind to see what happens. So the following week after that, February 22nd, we have the Six of Cups. We have the Three of Swords, the World card, the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, Six of Wands, Ten of Swords. We have a lot of swords, a lot of cups, quite a few pentacles. This is our first wands, right? So this is interesting because the Six of Cups is always nice, right? We have this card where this person is kind of taking care of the child. They're giving something to the child, or the child is giving something to the adult. We don't really know. I can't tell from this card, right? Sixes do talk about caring and compassion and social responsibility. So therefore, I feel more like this person is taking care of this child. So that's good. Three of Swords usually means heartbreak. That's very literal here. It's, again, cutting yourself off from intuition or spiritual pain. And like we said, the three can be about communication, optimism, clarity. But when it comes to the swords, it always looks like heartbreak. It looks like you're not looking before you leap and you're spreading yourself too thin. Then we have the World card. This is the only major arcana that we have. Hopefully it doesn't say that I'm showing things that shouldn't be shown on YouTube, so I'll put that there. So that's the World card, right? The World card is literally like the world. So it's the end of the major arcana. It's a completion point. Something is coming to an end, but it's a big end because it's the World card. It's major arcana, or it could be something that also affects the world as a whole. So something coming out of the United States, the Three of Swords, affecting the world as a whole. We have the Six of Pentacles. So again, we have, somebody giving, right? We had the Six of Cups with the person giving the child some type of comfort. They're giving them they're being kind, they're showing compassion. The Six of Pentacles is also showing that social responsibility of giving money or giving some type of protection. Or it could also mean you're kind of helping somebody with their health as well. Five of Cups. Fives are cards that are tough. Five can be instability. Could also be freedom, could be change. Could be impulsive nature, but it could also be resourcefulness and playfulness. But it's a tough card. Has a lot of stress and instability to it, especially when you're looking at this person who is very sad. Head and hands, they are upset about something, right? They're not happy. And again, cups are those social relationships and those intuition and emotion. Then we have the Six of Wands. So we have another six. So there's 3 6s here. Wands are fire cards. They are masculine. This is drive, energy, enthusiasm, willpower, talents, and imagination. This person here has their wands set up. They're on their horse. They have another wand in their hand. They look like they are, what's the word I'm looking for? They look like they're doing security, right? They are waiting. They are, it's like the peace, right? Sixes are peace and quiet after the fives. So they're prepared. They're prepared and they're waiting. And then we have the Ten of Swords. Tens are endings, right? And they can also be beginnings of a new cycle. The swords, again, are difficulties. So what I like about the Ten of Swords card is this one is very easy to read in the sense of you have that skeleton. You have you have the swords piercing that skeleton. It's an ending, and it's usually not a good ending. It may be dependent upon what you're asking. It is minor arcana, so it's not a major arcana ending, but it has that finalness to it. And it could mean the finalness, the end of a difficult situation. So let's read through these cards again. So we have this six that's like compassion, taking care of someone. That's good. And then we have the Three of Swords. So there's some type of heartbreak or very difficult situation that is happening. There's either a breakdown in communication, or there's like a breakdown in openness. Could also be secrets as well. We have the World card. There's something going on in the world. The world is involved. So it's very interesting to have these two next to each other and trying to figure out how they interact. If anybody has any ideas, you can leave it in the comments, because I'm very curious to see how other people would interpret these two next to each other, because it's like I almost see like this is from what happened last week. There's still that heartbreak, but people still have hope. And that's kind of how I see it. Like people are still moving ahead. They're not giving up. And I think the world is recognizing that, which is good. And maybe because the world is recognizing that, we get some help from the world. So maybe somebody from outside the United States is giving us help, whether that is something we see or something that's happening on in the background. I don't know. Because is it literally money, or is it something like information? Is it a material resource, or is it a protection? Are we not getting what we want from, say, the e-files, but the world is saying, don't worry, we're there and we're giving? And then we have that despair of the Five of Cups. This person there's a breakdown, there's a change, or there's like a type of impatience. It's like this card tells me that something is happening and it's too much to handle. I think in a lot of ways, this just shows the ups and downs of dealing with being in the United States at the moment. You're hopeful, something happens, you feel crappy, you feel down, but then you pick yourself up again and you say, all right, you got to let yourself take those moments of feeling down and then getting yourself back up again. It's kind of crazy because that's what it just feels like being in the US. It's like a roller coaster. Something happens, you feel like crap again, but then something else happens and you feel great. And then it's just a constant battle. Um And it's just, it's true. I think that that's going to continue for February. I think, and then, well, with the Six of Wands, like I said, there is that impulsiveness or that strength to say we're still going to strive ahead. We're not going to be taken down because there is an ending coming up. I'm very curious about what this ending is. There's an ending of a difficult situation. So I feel like in this way, this is good because sometimes you get the Ten of Swords and that's like, it's almost like minor arcana death card. But death isn't always bad. Death is just a change, an ending to something else. Because tens are, they end the cycle so that you can start again. We may be on the fence for something at this point and we need to make a decision as well. So this to me feels more like the people, not necessarily the government. Like this could be more of the government of the people. This feels a little bit more like the people, but I think we'll have to see. And I want to pull a clarifier for this final week. And I got the Ace of Wands, but I think it was upside down, or was that how I pulled the card? I don't know. Let me look at my cards really quick because I'm not going to pull more. They're all upright, so I don't really think it was upside down. I think it was just the way I pulled it, but we'll see, right? So the Ace of Wands, aces again, another rebirth, another new opportunity. And wands are about that creativity, drive, willpower, potential for success. If I wanted to look at the Ace of Wands upside down, what would that say for us? It talks about facing trials and tribulations in the near future. I mean, that would kind of go for this week, ups and downs, ups and downs. A lack of direction. You may feel uninspired or unmotivated. Also can indicate delays. So since I pulled it reversed, I'll just, there's probably a reason why I pulled it reversed. So we'll keep it as reversed. I think this is showing that this is just a difficult week of ups and downs. And I think that's shown by the Six of Cups, Three of Swords, Five of Cups, and Six of Wands. But there is going to be an ending to a difficult situation. So I think the Ace of Wands is saying, you just got to hang in there. It's a, it's a start of another annoying journey, which would make sense because say if something happened this week, this top week, February the 15th, say something happened that with the justice that didn't turn out the way we wanted. We have a new beginning. It's a little upside down because we're not feeling it. But that's okay because we still have, we still have our ups and downs and we still have the world. And I think the world is helping us in some way. We probably just don't know it yet. So don't get discouraged. And then there's, I think, going to be the end of a difficult situation here. What that end is, I'm not sure. I'm very curious. But it feels to me like this is a good ending for the people of the United States. Something ends that we've been dealing with. So we may have a loss February 15th week of, but then February 22nd week of the end, we may actually get a win. So it could be, 1-1, which feels par for the course in all honesty of how it is. All right, so I'm going to end there. I'd probably create another video after this for something else. I don't want to put two of them together. I don't want it to be too long. But thank you for watching, especially the whole video. If you have any comments, please leave them. I do enjoy seeing other people's interpretations. This is just a spread I just made up myself because I like doing that. I also like the Celtic Cross a lot recently, but it's fun to make spreads yourself. So if you're getting into reading cards, don't feel worried and restricted by a lot of rules. I don't think, this is a tool that you can use, that you use the best way you feel for yourself. So don't feel too restricted. Do what you like. Please like and subscribe and share if you would like to do that as well. That's very nice. Yeah. So I'll see you again soon. Bye.